This is Farthest Frontier. It's the latest in a long series of video games that have followed on success of Banished, which was one of my favorite games from several years ago. The basic idea of Banished was that it was a colony sim where you're sort of building a medieval society, it's from a top-down perspective, and you're strategically figuring out how to feed these people and keep them alive. And Banished, it had wintertime, you had to store up a bunch of food, and it had a lot of complexity to it under the surface. They were really sort of modeling the nutrition of people, how much variety they got in their diet, things like that. It was very complicated and it was very difficult to sort of succeed at. And there's been a lot of games that have followed in its wake, trying to sort of recreate the fun and the excitement of building a colony like this, the way that Banished did, but shaving off some of the sort of rougher edges, the things that made the game complex and less accessible. And the problem, I think, I've had trouble connecting with a lot of these other games, and it's been difficult for me to figure out why, because I loved Banished. I had a great time with it, but a lot of the times I'll try some of these games, and I just won't be inspired by them. And I'm not exactly certain what the answer to that question is, because it's not always really obvious. I've got a theory, though. I'm starting to develop a theory, and Farthest Frontier is helping me because I actually am getting into Farthest Frontier the way I got into Banished. This one is successful, where a lot of the others have not managed to capture my imagination. So let's start a new settlement, just to sort of, let's call this something. I don't know, let's call this La Coalición, because La Coalición is in the chat. Hello. Also, Zach of Mars, Sunny Games, Malator, and Ranithcord. It's good to have all of you here. Let's just go typical settings and jump right in. Malator says, hello, I forgot I bought this game. I guess I'll consider this a tutorial. Oh yeah, there's a big old cutscene and I've turned down the volume. Can I skip it? Yes, I can skip it. Okay, let's skip the cutscene. It's just saying you lived in an oppressive, miserable society and you fled to start your own town, which is the same setup as Banished. So this really is a spiritual sequel to Banished, made by other people. But so my theory about why I think this works in a way that other follow-ons to Banished didn't is I think that this game does a good job of creating that sense of there's some detailed nerdiness in this game that was also in Banished, but where Banished had the sort of the deep nerdiness about needing to, for instance, worry about the different the variety of nutrition in your people's diet, things like that, things that were kind of difficult to figure out. This game offers that same kind of nerdiness, but it files off the rough edges just a little bit, where a lot of other games oversimplified and sort of lost that sense of creative investment that you get when you have a really complex and interesting puzzle to solve. I feel like this game, it shaved off just enough that it has been pretty straightforward for me to sort of get into it and figure out how it works without a strong tutorial, because this game is still in early access. They have not implemented a complex tutorial. It's simple enough that I can figure it out, but it's nerdy enough that it sort of captures the puzzle-solving part of my brain. So, first thing we're going to do, plonk down our town center. Oh yeah, so Utina the Killer Jawa, yes, this is in early access, and so you will not have a tutorial for this game, but luckily it's actually pretty, straightforward to figure out. So right now, they would love to build this thing, except they need 16 wood in order to do it. And I don't know if we have any wood. I think we might have to chop some down. We do not have any wood, so let's chop it down. Let's pause the game real quick. So I've actually been playing this game on normal speed because it actually progresses fairly quickly for a game of this style. You got months across the top of the calendar here, and you actually go through spring, summer, fall, winter more quickly than I would expect. But they also have less of a dramatic impact than, say, Banished, where you're like, I just feel like I'm starving for generations. But okay, so I'm going to not harvest bushes and berries yet. Let's just harvest trees for now, and let's just have them chop down all the nearby trees. Just take them all out. What have these trees done to you? I don't know, but it was bad. and we're going to have them move at a little bit of a faster speed. So I'm going to play at a faster speed during this stream because I'd like you to be able to see a little bit more of how this game works than you could if I was just playing at my normal leisurely pace. This has become the game that I've been playing while watching TV shows, by the way. I always have a game like that in that category, and this game has become the game I do that with. So each of these little people has got a name, they've got an occupation, they've got various things that can be wrong with them. There's specific clothing that they're wearing. And it looks like, is this food they're willing to eat, or is this food they actually have on their person? This might be food they have on their person. Oh yeah, everybody's just carrying a bunch of food around. Well, that's cool. So yeah, so you can see there is that sort of nerdy level of detail that makes you feel like, oh, we're simulating a real society. That's another thing that I think makes a difference, is I think that for some reason, my interest in a Banished-like game does seem to be pretty contingent on how compellingly realistic it feels. And it doesn't have to be like truly realistic, like the literal definition of that term. Obviously, you do want the edges of realism to be shaved off to make it into a game and make it playable. And so I'm not like, the more realism, the better, is not where I am. But there's a sweet spot where it feels like there's enough realism to make you feel like, oh, these are real people who really need my help. So these people are still sad because none of them have houses. So we've got 12 settlers. We should probably start building them some shelters, the cheapest houses. So each of these houses... Okay, one thing they ought to do here is tell me on the house how many people it contains. I happen to know that they contain 4, which means I need 3 of these houses in order to make these people happy. But this is the kind of thing that I imagine at some point they will want to create a tutorial to help with. Oh, whoops. So I hit the tab button to rotate these things. And then just for fun, I'm just going to make a little road. The roads are kind of interesting. Each road segment that you draw can be of any length. And then it's treated as a single construction once you're done with it. And so you can add an entire long segment and then delete that entire long segment. And they can sort of curve around corners and things like that. And you can make these kind of naturalistic feeling roads. But the cost is you can't just delete them tile by tile and edit them. Once you've made a big, long road, that's your big, long road. And if you want to replace it, you got to replace the big, long road. So let's get these people some shelter so they don't just feel miserable all the time. And you'll notice that, basically what we're doing is we're creating jobs, and then these people are wandering around, and each of them is just looking for a job that they can do. These are all generic laborers right now. None of them have full-time jobs, which are provided by sort of dedicated buildings. And so basically when there is a house that is buildable, somebody will go and take that job and build it. When there's a tree that's cuttable, somebody will go and cut that tree. And you can actually keep track of what everyone is doing right now. Right now I've just got 10 laborers. 10 laborers, 10 generic laborers, but then you'll notice whenever there's something to build, it'll pop up a number. See, right here, I've got 1 builder. And that's just because somebody was building something. Okay, so we've got our 3 houses now, which means I think everybody... Yes, we've got our housing count matches our villager count. But now it's telling me... Oh, and I should probably move my head down here. Now it's telling me that I don't have firewood. And that's an emergency that I have. So the very next thing we should do, and so this is how I learned how to play the game, is following these little notes telling me when I have an emergency, but then also just exploring this menu here. So this is the build menu, and for instance, I can see, what are the food sources that I can create? And I would just poke around at them and be like, oh, I can do this one, I can do this one, cool, let's try them out and see what they do. And then there are these upper tier ones that have requirements. It says, oh, I need a saw pit and a tier 2 town center before I can build a windmill. Okay, well, how do I get a tier 2 town center? Well, I need to have a bunch of wood planks, which means I need a saw pit, and I need some stone, and, I need to have population 30. Okay, and so basically I just sort of create my own goals. The game isn't giving me a hand-holding tutorial, and honestly, that might be one of its benefits. Like, I'm actually not necessarily looking forward to a future in which this team decides, you know what we need? Well, you know what I need? A well. You know what we need? An explicit tutorial. Because I actually suspect that part of what made me like this game was the fact that I was exploring the possibilities myself. Okay, notice, by the way, that there's this little orange imprint that the that the firewood cutter makes. If I put him right next to a house, he makes him less happy to live in that house. So this has sort of got that SimCity thing where you're trying to like separate your industry from your residential. That's fine. I don't mind. But you see, like, I can just take this road, start it here, and just jog it over a little bit like that, and then continue it with another segment like that. And it makes this nice little naturalistic-looking road, which is kind of cool. So, La Coalición points out that one interesting thing about roads in other games, in Tropico... Oh, whoa, we're being attacked by predators. Hold on. Okay, everybody, we need to pitch in. Oh, good. They already did. They already defeated the predator. Nice. So sometimes you have to actually start grabbing people and assigning them all to just go and attack the predator so they'll gang up on it. Because if a predator catches one of your people alone, they'll just run away from the predator and nobody else will help. And so the predator will just be like, well, eventually I'll whittle you down and eat you. Okay, so we have got somebody chopping firewood now. Cassia here is chopping firewood. And so now we're going to be pulling in logs and firewood. And so we're pulling in logs, using the logs here, and turning it into firewood. And then firewood is going to heat the homes in the winter once we get there. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's telling me the basics. This game does have a tutorial, but it's just such a slight tutorial. They basically are setting things up. Here, let me get them to harvest some stones, too, because I'll need those eventually. Oh, no. Oh, villagers are stricken with dehydration. Oh, that's right, because I didn't harvest any stone yet. Okay, so once I have a 4-month supply of food and 6 houses, people will join my team here. Okay, so let's prioritize the stone and prioritize the well. So we don't have any stone right now, which is why we can't build the well, but people are getting dehydrated. I might just lose everyone right now because I forgot to build the well in time. So, yes, everyone gets stone, please. Here, this one too. This one too. Just everybody. You are all quarriers? What do you call stone harvesters? What's the name of that job? Okay, look, they're all loaded up. There's only 1 stone required now. Come on, before you all die of thirst. Do it. Yes, okay, you got some stone? Bring it over here, bring it over here. Yes, okay, now we need a laborer. I mean, a builder. Oh, 2 builders, yes. Or just 1 builder, that's fine, whatever. Yeah, saw that rope. Saw that rope right in half. But yeah, anyway, so I think that they gave me the right kind of tutorial for this kind of game, which is basically, this is meant to be a creative game that, they give you a bunch of tools and a bunch of things that you're capable of accomplishing, but then it really is very up to you how you accomplish it. And I think that games in this genre that spend a long time walking you through step by step, build this, now build this, now build this. And if you've played this genre, there are some games that will just go through a very, very long process of walking you through step by step exactly what you need to do. And I just lose interest really, really fast in those scenarios. Because I'm like, oh, you told me to do this, you told me to do that, okay, I'm doing it. And I just feel like I'm going down a checklist. Whereas this game, it tells me basics like, your people aren't going to harvest stuff unless you tell them to harvest stuff. That's important information for me to have. And I actually, needed to be reminded, actually, that I needed to be getting stone. If it may be the fact, I'm not sure what triggered that tutorial. It might happen at the same time every time you play. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason that happened was because I had a well sitting here and no stones marked. And it might have just detected that I was being an idiot. And it gave me, like, the information I needed. But it didn't tell me, build a well. It told me, your people are thirsty. Did you know that you can mark stones for harvesting? And it was up to me to figure out that I needed a well. And that feels like a minor thing, and it actually does feel like, there are people who will not figure out the game because of factors like that, right? And I just realized I need to start worrying about food production now. Everybody arrived with pockets full of food, but that's not going to last forever. So we need to figure out where to place a hunter cabin. Actually, okay, before we place a hunter cabin, I think a gathering spot is probably going to be better, because it looks like the resources we have out here are mostly gatherable resources. Because we've got... Okay, so hawthorn is not available right now. I think it needs to grow. We got greens available out here in the wilderness. The thing I don't see any of is, like, deer. that we can hunt, or boars that we can hunt. So until I discover that, I can get eggs. That's cool. We can get mushrooms. Until I see that, I think we'll rely on gathering. So let's grab a foraging shack and just build it in a place that's got a lot of greens. So I guess we can just, nope. I keep hitting R instead of tab. R is what I'm used to using to rotate buildings like this, but it's actually tab in this game. Okay, so we're going to build one foraging shack to forage these things. And then, oh, great. The hawthorn is ripened. So I can, let's build another one. Let's get multiple foraging shacks going here. Let's build another one up near these guys. Now you can actually, so you can see this circle, which is showing where the person will forage. You can actually move this circle later. I don't have to nail the exact position of this circle right now. Once we've built this thing, I can replace that circle so that people can gather from different places all over the map. Star Fury says, I imagine tutorials are hard to balance, but I agree. Too much checklisting and hand-holding bores me. And that's actually one thing that hurts a lot of mobile games for me, is because, there's this sense in the mobile industry that, that you kind of treat people almost like bundles of statistics. Ooh, that's right. I can't recruit more people until I have more housing. That's right. And so it's like you'll end up sort of watching the statistics of your game and the, how it plays out. Like how, a typical person will play the game for this long and then they'll quit. And so what we need to do is put something at that moment in the game that makes them not want to quit. And they'll end up sort of constructing these things, these like tutorial sequences, these onboarding processes to try to get players to just stay a little bit longer in the game, a little bit longer, and maybe they'll spend some money on our game if they just stay a little bit longer. But what you end up with is these tutorials which are hard to fall out of, that are hard to quit because they're telling you exactly what to do in what order. But what they don't do is they don't teach you why you want to push these buttons. Like a lot of them will darken the entire screen and highlight only the button you should press and put an arrow pointing to that button and saying, press this button to do this. So you're like, okay, great. But because you didn't need to, like you didn't know why you were pushing the button. Like you didn't, it's not like you were sitting here. Like the experience I had just now where I'm like, oh, my people are thirsty. Oh, no, I need a well. I need to figure out how to make a well. And then I do all the things that I need to do to make a well. And I remember them because that was information that I wanted. Similarly, like I've been noticing when I've been playing Vigor, if I just watched a video that it explained to me where all of the little photograph buried caches are, I would not remember at all. But each time I find one by myself, because I got the photo, I looked at the map, I'm like, where could this be? And I go and I find the thing myself. Even if I can't find the exact spot, and I eventually do need to rely on a hint on the internet to help me figure it out. I still... Oh, you know what? I think I probably need to come up with a storage site here. Because right now they're storing things in this wagon, and I think they could probably do a little better than that. When I want the information and I find the information myself to feed my own needs, then I retain the information. It's meaningful to me. It matters to me. And I remember how to do it, and it sticks with me. But if I'm just being told to do something, it's like if I'm the passenger in a car, I do not learn the route that we're taking. But if I'm the driver of the car, I do learn the route. It's really, really similar to that. And so, like, a lot of these mobile game tutorials, yeah, they get you to push all the buttons. They get you to stay through the whole tutorial. But then afterwards, you forgot what those buttons did. You don't know why you needed to press them, and you don't really understand the game. And it's really that understanding and investment in the game, and, like, in figuring it out, and, like, wanting to solve the puzzle of how to be good at this game, is what keeps you in certain genres of games. So there's some games where the thrill of the game is it comes from somewhere else. But in a game like this, solving the puzzle of how to maximize the outcomes of this sort of world for these characters, that's what the game is about. And so you have to give the player that experience. If your tutorial walks them through the steps in sort of a cursory way, but doesn't give them that experience, then they're not going to engage, and the game is going to feel dull. And so it could easily be the scant tutorial that this game has that actually helped me get into it more than a lot of the other Banished-alikes that I've played. Typed Metal says, I've never really played a city builder. What would you recommend for a first-time player? Oh, man, I would have to think about that. I mean, this kind of colony builder where it's like a survival sim, where it's like your people are going to die if you don't feed them, might not be the first place you want to start, unless that is just generally the kind of game that you're into, in which case, I mean, this one's pretty good. Banished is sort of the classic example, though it is complex. Yes, 6 people have arrived in my village. Will I accept them or turn them away? Well, I've got housing for them. I have got 9 months of food, but 7 of them are going to be lost to spoilage. So I have a little bit of food. I'm betting that this number will go down. The calculation will go down once I add 6 people. Yes, it did. I now have 6 months of food, and 5 of them will rot away. Okay, so if I wanted to bring more people, I need to build a market. And a market is... I think it has requirements. Is that under amenities? I'm trying to remember. Yes, a market. I need to have a saw pit, and I need to have a storehouse. So let's look at... Can I get a store? Okay, I can build a storehouse. I'm capable of that. So I could just kick that sucker off right now. Build that right there next to my other storage site. And then what else? By the way, notice that all of my scavenging spots have turned gray. That means that they're not available now because it's winter. They'll also turn gray if you've scavenged them out and they need to sort of regenerate before you can get them. So I'm out of sources of food. And all of my food is at risk of rotting away. And I'm only at the beginning of winter. This might be an ill-fated society. I might have needed to kick off my food process a little bit faster than I did. Now, I can build a root cellar. If I build a root cellar, that can store food more securely, more safely. I'm not sure where to stick my root cellar, maybe right there? So let's prioritize the crap out of this. If I can build a root cellar and get all my food into the root cellar in time, it might last longer, in which case my people have some hope of living a little bit longer than they currently would. Oh no, oh no! No, the food stores are all rotting away! They're all rotting away! Okay, I've got it! Please, move all the food in here. I don't know where you've been keeping the food. There's a little bit of food in this wagon. Please, everyone, move the food. I don't know how to get them to move the food. I assume they will eventually. Okay, good. We're coming to the end of winter. We've got a couple months of food left, but it's all good. Okay, good. Oh, yes, we can scavenge the greens again. Okay, good. Good. Okay, harvesters. Harvest like mad. Forage your little brains out. Let's build another forager. Just to get on top of this whole problem. That is a root cellar. That is not a forager. Where's a forager? Okay, forager. Let's build one here. And then let's build a little road. Like that. By the way, I really love naturalistic roads in games like this. Like, I like to build... I don't like gridding it out perfectly. I like sort of making these roads like this and then sort of building the town around them, make the whole thing feel more natural. Oh, so back to Type Metal's question. Cogs is suggesting that Surviving the Aftermath is a fun city builder, especially if you're into post-apocalyptic stuff. And I agree with that. I originally bounced off... Surviving the Aftermath, when I first played it in Early Access, was one of the Banished-alikes that I bounced off. But when Cogs encouraged me to come back to it, the fully developed game is actually really good. And they do a good job of sort of leading you through... leading you through long-term goals, which is another thing, like giving you like short-term things to accomplish. You're like, oh, build this, build that, build this. Things that are easy and quick to do. It's easy, but it's uninspiring. What Surviving the Aftermath does is they do a better job of like setting you long-term goals, tell you like this is the story of what you're trying to accomplish. This is what your people are here to do, and sort of giving you a sense like, okay, I need to get to this distant destination. What are all the steps between here and there? And then you figure out the steps between here and there. Expion, I have not played Endzone. By the way, I'm going to reduce the speed here because we've got 1 month left of food. And I'm just not sure, we're going to survive. I mean, I'm gonna keep adding foragers. So in my last map, I actually had a pond nearby, and that pond let me get fish, which did a great job early on of augmenting my food supply. But I don't have fish here. So what are my other options? So now I can build a crop field. Okay, actually, another thing I can do is I can build a... So I don't see any icons on the map that tell me this is where animals are. But I don't know if that's actually necessary for a hunting shack. It could be the hunter can sort of, like, find invisible rabbits and things. Oh, wait, what is this? Medicinal roots. Bird's nest. Yeah, I had a much better role on the map of my previous community. So I'm going to try to place a hunting shack out here in these untouched woods. I have no idea if this hunter is going to be able to provide me food, because I don't know if it actually requires an explicit resource node that says, hi, there are deers here. There are deer here, in order to work. So I'm going to try to build it, see if that can augment my food supplies. And I will also start investing in a long-term food supply. So a field can provide a lot of food, but it takes an entire year, basically, just to prepare it. So this is not going to solve my short-term problems. I'm trying to plant... Okay, I want it close to town, but I also want it in, like, the most fertile area I can. So I think maybe the edge of this fertile area is where I should go with it. And let's start... There needs to be at least 5 by 5, I think. Yeah, 5 by 5 is the minimum size. So let's go, like, 6 by 5. And so now a couple people will be assigned as farmers. Let's actually check our workers here. So we still got 15 generic laborers. That's good. So they're all harvesting stuff. I've got 1 builder doing things. I got 1 firewood splitter, 3 foragers, 1 hunter. And eventually, we're going to have a couple of farmers once we've actually built this farm. Smuggler and Baponi asks, so how far away is this frontier? It is the farthest. I was tempted at the beginning of this video to accidentally mispronounce it, Farthest Frontier, but then I decided that was juvenile, and so I didn't do that. Okay, so this person, let's move their scavenging area to include this stuff. What is this? Patch of herbs. Okay. Yep, food stocks are low, but we've got 2 now. 2 months of food stores. No one is keeping anything in the root cellar. Why? Why are you not putting things in the root cellar? Berries go there. They're probably just eating everything immediately. Greens go there. Are they sticking... Okay, I think literally people only have the food in their pockets or something. That must be it. No, they're all still being kept in the storehouse. Well, maybe greens survive in the storehouse just fine. I don't know. I think they should stick things in the root cellar, though. So let's check out this hunter. So far, they have produced nothing. Oh, no! Villager attacked by a predator and stricken with rabies? What? No! Hey, where are some nearby people? Come here. Attack predator. I don't know what to do about this rabid person. I don't have any kind of healing infrastructure whatsoever. Maybe it's okay if I just let them die. Oh! Wait, okay, we got it? We got it. Okay, good. Whew! All right. Well, go convalesce from your rabies, I guess. I hope you're all right. Oh, Timberborn. That is another really interesting. That's another really interesting city builder. I would not. It's not a typical city builder. It's a city builder plus. It's got a completely different thing that you need to worry about. Oh, yes. I need to definitely be moving around the effective areas of these places, because yeah, these guys are not harvesting any food because there's nothing nearby for them to harvest. Get some hazelnuts, get some eggs, and yeah, so look, so remember, like, when I finish a building, it's like, oh, 20 work units will appear here, and this number will just sit here and count down until it's done. There's 1,320 work units required in this field, so it is going to take all year just to get this field ready. And so this will not be a source of food until next year, but check it out! Our food stores are at 5, but they're still going to be spoiled. Why are you putting stuff in here? You know what? I'm going to mark that not allowed. Greens go here. This is where they go. This is where they will last longer. Or is it? Huh. Why is it going to keep... It still says it's going to spoil. Everything's going to spoil over the next 12 months. Well, maybe greens just don't last that long no matter what we do. Maybe what I need is to get some meat, which doesn't exist. Okay, I think we are learning that, yeah, you need to actually put a hunter where there's animals. Which I think means I might need to send some people out exploring. Oh, wait, what's this? Is this... Oh, no, that's herbs. Blah. Well, at some point, you know what I might do? I might actually just load up my other towns so you can see... you know, where a city can get after this kind of time. Because this is... I'm playing in hard mode right now. So let me grab a person who's not doing anything else. Hey, you. You're not busy, right? Seeking tools? Whatever. I think you should come out here. And you all, yeah, some of you are harvesting trees, but I think somebody should head out this direction and just see what's deeper in these woods. Might be predators. So, oh wait, what is this? Boars! Boars! Yes! Okay, this is where my hunting belongs, right here. What am I doing? Food production. Hunter cabin. Goes out here where the boars are. Actually, let's keep it just a little bit shy of the boars. And then we'll move the, its little circle. So there we go. Put it right there. Like that. And we'll build that. And then this hunter, I'm so sorry that I gave you such a useless, unsatisfying life, Hunter. But yeah, this is not working out. This hunting cabin is not working out. Hopefully this one will work out and we'll actually be able to get some meat in our diet. And once we get some meat in our diet, you know what we'll want to do? We'll want to take it to the smokehouse. And the smokehouse is a place people don't want to live next to. The smokehouse will turn it into, like, preservable meat, and that will go in the root cellar, and that will last longer. So we're not going to have, like, all of our food basically set up to fail. How are you doing? Okay, you still got stuff you can scavenge. What about you? Yes, you've still got lots of stuff you can scavenge. Cool. And how about you? You got some bird's eggs, I guess. Not as many things available here. Let's move your circle just a little bit more to include all of these bird's eggs. I guess I could put another forager out here. It's starting to feel like a lot of foragers, though. So Smoke Rim Pony says, so is this a new game that aims to look and feel like a 1995 Pharaoh game, but with modern design considerations? So it definitely has modern design considerations. This is a modern survival colony sim. And it's not just sort of your classic, like, SimCity style city builder, or Pharaoh style city builder. But I guess I could see the sort of the comparison with the graphics. They do kind of go for, you're pulled back at a distance. Things seem very sort of small and simple. Oh no, the rabid villager died. Curse you, rabies! But I actually really like this look. Like, it feels like it's not quite as realistic as Banished, but it's close enough. You know, it's like got this, because it's a little bit cartoony, right? Like the houses are a little bit like just a little too cute, a little too small. You know, a little like little hexagons and things like that. Which, you know, it's like halfway between. That's not halfway. It's closer to Banished than World of Warcraft, but it's a little bit in the World of Warcraft direction. But yeah, so I wouldn't quite call this 1995, but it. Oh crap! I need a graveyard. I need a graveyard, because we don't want to leave dead bodies lying around. That's not cool. So let's put. Where do we put? We don't want to put the graveyard in the most fertile area. So maybe the graveyard goes. I don't know. Next to the root cellar. Yes! Graveyard next to the root cellar. Let's go. Let's keep our dead where we keep our food. I see no problems with that. Beardride says this looks a little bit like Stronghold. Yeah, I can totally see that. It's got just a little bit of like sort of noise and busyness to the way that it looks. Because even though Stronghold and Pharaoh were both 2D with sprites, you know, sort of like overlaid on to look like a 3D space from one particular like isometric angle. Oh, we just lost some food. We'll be fine, I guess. This is still cultivating that same sense of like, you know, just it's a very sort of busy, detailed thing. From up here, it's got that same kind of look that you get from sort of the gradients and the pixel graphics of you know, Pharaoh and Stronghold. This has a little bit of that of that look too, which I like it. It's sort of like this sort of like grainy, crunchy sort of look. It doesn't feel like big and fluffy and cartoony, you know. Oh, there's so many berries over here that we're not harvesting. How can we... It's unconscionable how few of these berries we're harvesting right now. Come on, let's grab... actually, this one, this guy, let's grab those berries. This person, let's grab the... Yeah, there's these distant berries, but let's grab the nearby berries first, because that'll be quicker. We'll fill up our storehouse a little faster. And similarly, you, I made you go far afield, but let's actually stay a little closer to home. Okay, I think I slowed things down. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so it's reminding me, hey, you've got a gross dead body. You need to build a graveyard. We're working on it. We're working on it. One thing that I think you can't do is get people to do very specific jobs. Like, I don't think I can assign someone to transport this villager. I think I just have to wait for it to happen now that the graveyard is here. The question is, will someone do it? Maybe if I grab a generic laborer? Like, are you a laborer or are you a, you know, you're the berry harvester? Who's a laborer? Are you a laborer? Forager again. Who's a generic? Over here. You? Forager! Where's all the people that are... can I do it from the... Can I go from here and, like, find a laborer? Yes. I have found a laborer. Right here. Hello. Can I assign you to pick up a dead body? Is that a thing you'll do? No. Okay, I can... Oh! Wait, maybe? Okay, I don't know if I've just done that. I may have assigned them... Oh, wait! Oh, look! This person just did it! Okay, never mind. Well, now I've just sent you over there for no reason. Hey, you, come back. Go and get some logs or something. I don't know. Anyway. Beardride says I'm getting some black and white vibes, too, with the Villagers Harvest. I love all these sort of, like, callbacks to old, sort of community-building games. I like that there's sort of just this very long tradition behind games like this, and this sort of shared knowledge that we can sort of draw from together. Beardride says, I wasted so many hours on Stronghold. Yeah, I did, too. Back in, like 20 years ago, I loved Stronghold. I used to play that, you know, the earliest Stronghold all the time. Being able to sort of plan out and build my own castle was amazing. Okay, so this hunter also has not brought in any meat. Okay, maybe it's because I need to move their area of operation. Oh, they have found a boar. They found a boar. Get it. Oh, wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, you. Retreating. Oh, we're scared of boars. Okay, I guess boars are a little meaner than deer. Maybe so eventually you can get, like, say, a Fletcher to make you, like, better bows and arrows and stuff like that. So maybe what we actually need... Come here. Who are you? Labor. Okay. Maybe what we actually need is a Fletcher before that will work. And we need to really find some deer. So I'm going to start exploring a little more again. See if I can find some freaking deer. Or maybe a pond. Something. I do have more food stored, but it's all extremely perishable. And if I can get some meat... Then I can use the smokehouse to turn into, like, jerky, basically. Then we can last a little bit longer. Beardride said that he used to always find the spawn points for enemies in Stronghold and just, ooh, willow. We can use that for baskets. Ooh! This is what I need right here. We have just become a fishing village. What's that? Medicinal roots. Cool. Okay, we're officially a fishing village. Officially. Let's... Where was the fishing shack? There it is. Okay, so let's build our fishing shack right here. We'll definitely want to build a road because it's far from town. We want people to be able to get there. There we go. All right, so we're going to build that. Where did my explorer go? Did I lose him? I probably lost him. That's fine. Fish, you're going to... I think we can smoke fish and preserve them and get this number lower. Having this number high is great, but if this number is also high, you're wasting a lot of food. So, has the hunter figured out how to kill a boar yet? No, not one boar. All right, let's find ourselves another explorer. Let's poke around a little bit more. Where's my laborers? There they are. Hey there, fancy laborer. Let's come over here. See what's out in this part of the woods. Whoa, Corndog has 40,000 channel points. Congratulations. Beardride asks if there's any enemies in this game. There are predators. That's the main enemy that I've encountered so far. I don't know if there are other kinds of enemies. So far that I haven't... If there are other types of enemies, I have not gotten to the part of the game where they're introduced yet. I mean, because, you know, you have, like, a Fletcher and stuff like that, I could see there being, you know... actually, you know what? One thing I could do is look through the tech tree and see if there's anything in there that hints that I will need to prepare for conflicts. Oh, wait, what is this? Is this... What kind of animal are you? What are you? Let me... Another boar. Dang it! Oh, this is... Oh, we're just back in the same boar central location we were before. Okay, well, fine then. Here, I'll just send you way the crap over here. See if there's anything good. Oh, construction has been halted due to winter. How close did this thing get? Oh, it doesn't say how close it is to being done. Okay, well, it's wintertime. We've kind of got some food. I don't know. How are we doing with the... Oh, we're almost out of trees to chop down. Let's just... I'm just all about destroying all the trees in the world. So let's just chop a bunch more of those down. It's fine. No downsides to that. All right, let's look through the tech tree here. So, defenses. Oh, look at this. Lookout tower. Defends the surrounding area against hostile threats. It must be manned by guards. Barracks. Okay. Yes. I would say that, yes, there is conflict in this game. I just haven't gotten there yet. Weaver building, candle shop. Armory. A building where armor is made. So, okay, so there are definitely at least predators. And it looks like there's probably something else, too. My food stocks are low again. Ah! Everything is rotting. Are they even keeping stuff in the root cellar? Oh, we've got nuts now. Nuts and berries. That's cool and all. And unfortunately, fishing is not a thing you can do through the winter. So this guy, not going to be as helpful. You know what? I kind of want to build another one. Let's... Just so that, I mean, if we manage to survive this winter. What am I doing? Fisherman or woman? We don't know who's going to do the job. So, where's the road? The road's right there. Let's just put them right back to back. No problem with that. We'll separate their work areas. There's like, oh, there's fish up here too. Oh man, we're gonna have so many fishermen in this town. Like I said, this is now officially a fishing village. If anyone wonders what kind of village this is, it is a fishing village. Okay, we're getting into springtime. We have 0 food. We got no food. Everyone, food emergency. You, Go get greens. You, go get greens. If greens are all we've got, get the greens. What is this? Eggs. Get us some eggs. But you, most importantly, get us fish. We need fish. Okay, so you fish over there. You fish over here. And you finish building your house. Please get us... Okay. We got 1 month of food. What did we get? We've got smoked fish. Actual fish is coming in to our stores. Are they in here? No. I don't know where they are. They might be at the smokehouse. Yep, they're still at the smokehouse. Nobody's moved them yet. This building has no food. Nobody has any food. Nobody has any food. So get in line. Get in line for needing food. Okay, please. Please fish. Fish your little heart out. Oh, hey, so, yeah, Beardride is asking about lumber mills. Yeah, I'm so panicked about food that I'm not actually progressing the rest of my society. Because, yes, absolutely, there are things like the saw pit and the tannery that I can build. Let's build the saw pit, actually. Eventually, I'm going to need it. Let's put it here, where it's not going to affect any houses, but it'll be really close to the stockyard. And... oh, hunters haven't found any game for a while. Well, yes, they have. They're just little pansies, is what they are. They're scared little pansies who can't fight a boar. But fine. You know what? Let's disable the building. How do we... there's got to be a way to disable the building, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, slot disabled. So I unassigned the worker, basically. So I've unassigned that worker. Okay, we're getting barely enough food in to keep people alive. Just barely. I'm hoping that we'll be able to sort of get ahead of this. Especially if we get into, like, proper springtime. And we get all of the berries. The berries, I think, might save us. You know what? I think I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I need another gatherer. Let's get another forager out here with this stuff. And this actually could be my willow gatherer, because eventually I'm going to want willow to make baskets. Though, you know, not there yet. We're still lower down on Maslow's hierarchy than baskets. Baskets are like somewhere in the middle of Maslow's hierarchy. Oh, by the way, Fallstar, thanks for subscribing. It's nice to have you here. I really appreciate you. Okay, oh look! 6 months of food. We have caught up. Okay, so yeah, this little thing is going to keep giving me alerts. I don't like it when I make a conscious decision. Like, I'm going to do this because it's smart for my community, like disabling this building. And then it puts a red alert on it. I'm like, stop telling me that I've got an emergency. I don't have an emergency. I chose this. Okay, I would like some construction workers to come back to here. Thank you. We need this to be a proper field. We need to start making some real food. How's our gatherer doing? Oh, out of stuff to gather. Let's go a little further afield. You've still got a few things. Looks like some of the berries are cropping up, but some of them are not. Okay, have we tapped out this area? Guess you go a little further. You've still got plenty of stuff to grab. And actually, let's move this one so that you're also grabbing willow. And eventually, I want to grab clay from the clay pit. But first, I need to use a... oh, hey, my sawmill is working. My saw pit right here. It's making wood planks. So slowly but surely, I'll build up wood planks. And that will give me the ability to build fancier things. Like a cobbler's shop to make my people better shoes. And a Fletcher building. Ooh. A Fletcher building. Okay, we're building the Fletcher building in the hopes that it'll take us some time. Still need to make 8 more planks, but I'm hoping that if I build a Fletcher building, I can get this hunter going again, and they can actually be brave enough to fight the boars. I don't know if that's what's going to make the difference. I don't understand this well enough. But I've only got about 9 minutes left before I need to go, because I got a meeting at 1. But, look, we're back up to 11, 10 food stores. So, one thing I appreciate about this game that makes me like it, on top of all the other things that I've already discussed, is the fact that mistakes are recoverable. Like, we were looking like we were about to starve, and I feel like there's a lot of colony sims where once you get into that zone, you're in a death spiral. You are screwed. And in this game, that wasn't the case. Like, it warned me, but I had time after getting the warning to recover from it. And I've done that multiple times in this game. I recovered from the thirst emergency I had. I recovered from the food emergency I had. And there have been other emergencies that I've recovered from back in my other community. And so this game, it's forgiving. It's just forgiving enough that I feel challenged, but I don't feel like I'm just in a death spiral and I have to get it exactly perfectly in order to succeed. So yeah, let's save this game. Yes. And then let's load my other one, just because, this one is not actually, my other town that I built is not that much further along. I have built some additional technology, but I just sort of wanted to, show you just a town that's just a little bit further along, so you can sort of see where this is headed. This is the kind of game, just this whole genre is a slow-moving genre, and it's hard in just a single hour-long stream to really show you where this game can go. And honestly, I don't even know where it's going. Like I said, I didn't even know that there was, conflict in the game at some later stage. So there's a lot I don't know that I haven't discovered yet. But I have discovered that at least at this early stage, I enjoy this game, and I think that was the most important thing I wanted to communicate. All right, so it's wintertime, but this is my other town. I've got 17 months of food stores, and only 4 are perishable. So my food situation is much more solved. I got some nice wintry, crop fields here. I've got 2 root cellars that contain tons and tons of cured meat and smoked fish. That's mostly what they contain. And I've actually kind of forgotten where everything is now. That is one thing. It's like you have to sort of maintain your mental investment here. But I've also got, over here, I've got a clay pit where I'm harvesting clay so that I can make pottery and stuff. I've only just started doing that. Over here, I've got a work camp, which is sort of like a more efficient way to send people out to work on chopping trees and stuff. Because early on, the trees are all close to your home. And so it's really easy for somebody to sort of live at home and then go out and, grab a tree, bring it back, that sort of thing. The work camp actually lets you more efficiently send people further afield, have them work on the trees, bring them back to the work camp, and then somebody else can transport their stuff back home. And you can even give them sort of a little temporary shelter where they can actually live out here while they're working out here. So it's interesting how they sort of built a lot of sort of the late game stuff around, just sort of actual efficiencies that you would worry about, when building a game like this. So one thing you'll note, I actually had a little pond very close to my base at the beginning. I also had a deer node very close to my base. So I've had this very successful hunter who's got 480 units of meat and 8 pelts. I had a lot more advantages getting started with this particular community. But yeah, so this is my little town. I think this can get looking even more exciting as you develop it over time. I'm just at the very beginning of the game still, even with my more developed community. But there you go. That's how this game works. So there's actually a few more city builders that have been introduced via demos at Steam Next Fest. Actually, let me look. I've got them over here. I haven't played them yet. Manor Lords is one that's very similar to this. And then there's some science fiction ones like Aquatico, Mars First Logistics that I want to check out. But so it could be that there are other, folks who are contending for the crown of the next Banished. But this is a really good contender, and I'm glad that I checked it out. So anyway, I'm out of time. I should go. Oh yeah, Smoke Rainbow Pony asked if I've heard of Terra Nil. Yes, I have. I love Terra Nil. I did a couple of videos about it, about the early version of it. I think they've actually got a newer version out. But yeah, that's another very different kind of game. It has a lot of the same sort of like controls and tropes of a city builder, but it's a puzzle game. It's actually, but it's like an open-ended puzzle game. It's cool. I really like it. So yeah, that's definitely worth checking out. Anyway, let's wrap this up. So there's a subscribe button. Here are links to other videos. I'll try to grab videos of other city builders in case, like other people in my chat, you're curious about that. And I'm going to get out of here.